You know, I've learned a couple things while being around rappers. It's a little backstory on me. My grandfather put out the first rap album in 1969. They're from the group called the Wasp Prophets. You can look them up. Um, I'm a photographer. I take pictures of artists. I work with artists on a day-to-day basis. Later today, actually, I'm going to an event with an artist that you may or may not know. If you go to my Instagram page, you'll see. Um, and yeah, I've just had the pleasure of being around very unique individuals so far in my journey. And I've saw different characteristics within them that's actually very inspiring, and I want to touch on those qualities, right? Now, when you're dealing with certain artists and certain, bigger, influences, right? They all have a entrepreneurial spirit behind them, right? They all have like a sense of an ego, right? Where they aren't necessarily very fond of doing things that's not true to them or that they don't want to do, right? So the ways that they formulate money and the ways that they make money is very abnormal, right? You don't typically see them with one income stream. Typically once you get around artists, especially ones that's kind of got established where they're not solely focused on getting their music more reach, they've kind of had the benefit of living life a little bit. Their priorities change. I see them start opening up different things. They start coming out with clothes. They start, writing for other people. They start doing so much random things, right? As an exhibit of just being shown more, right? And it's kind of crazy because once you, at least, I feel like at least with music, right? And I truly don't know how this is with like other genres and stuff like that, right? But once you penetrate into music, once you penetrate into hip hop, rap, whatever the case may be, you open up every other industry known to mankind. You can go into cannabis, you can go into medical, you can whatever the case may be, right? Once people know who you are, the opportunities are endless. It's just access. And that's something I'm noticing about, this entrepreneurial space. That saying when they said your network is your net worth is so true, right? Because the more people who know about your mission, the more people who know about you, the more people who's just aware of who you are by nature, more people is going to want to interact with you, right? And it's from so much random things. When you're dealing with people, creativity is so boundless. Once they just know who you are, they can see you, they get your personality, whatever the case may be, they'll implement their creativity about how they want to work with you. And then it's just whether or not you actually want to go about it, you actually want to do it, So yeah, that's actually been one of the main things I've been saying. Is just the financial freedom, and the discipline it actually takes to actually maintain that type of stuff, because it is freedom. You have to maintain freedom. Freedom isn't just something you get, that you just have it. You have to maintain that freedom. It's through your actions, it's through your disciplines, through your habits, etc. Right? Now, the second thing I've noticed about artists, right? While I've been working this camera and talking to my grandfather and stuff like that, because my grandpa's gave me so much game about artists and stuff. He was telling me about instances with him and Bob Marley, Quincy Jones, and all this other type of stuff. And I'm realizing it within myself too, that I'm a natural artist. Certain things got passed down within the blood. And he said everything that made a potent artist, a potent creator, whatever the case may be, it was emotion, it was feeling. I'm noticing artists are very emotional. We feel our emotions, and we feel what we're going through very deeply. And it's not until we somewhat remove ourselves from society and what we think we need to be creating, what we think is us, and we just be true to ourselves, be true to what we're feeling, be true to how we think. And it just changes, the whole dynamic to how you live life. Your self-expression changes, your authenticity changes. When I embraced my camera, I was very, hesitant and very wordful and stuff like that, because dog, I'm going into hip-hop, I'm going into rap, and I'm over here talking about emotional intelligence, I'm over here talking about mental health, opening your heart, all this other shit, right? That's not necessarily the nature of hip-hop and rap. And I felt like I was kind of being, like oddballish a little bit, because I'm like, yo, I'm very spiritual. Like, I even got it tatted on, like just certain things where it's like, am I in the right space for this, right? But then I'm noticing the more I implement my emotions, the more I implement my feeling into my own artistry, right? I'm aligning with more artists, I'm aligning with more hip-hop people, more rappers, more influencers, whatever the case may be. That is a direct representation of my emotions. When I started focusing on mental health, when I started focusing on emotional intelligence and really being true to that and putting it out there, I started attracting more people around me who were actually that. I started attracting coaches. I started attracting like different artists and you know, different coaches and different personalities that was a reflection of what I was thinking, of what I was investing into. You know, being an artist is very wide and very, you know, freeing. You know, you can be an artist by drawing, painting, singing, writing, pictures, film, content, quote unquote, because content, I saw this thing actually that was like, content is like a fucked up way of saying art is like so diminishing and just so, you know, belittling. And, you know, in a way, kinda, I can understand that, because content creators and artists are two different things. You can look at somebody's page, you can look at somebody's art, you can look at somebody's quote unquote content and tell whether or not they dedicated a level of creativity into creating that piece, or whether or not they just whipped it up together and posted it, right? Those are two different things. But when you're an actual artist, when you're doing something that's a representation of you, the moment you put your emotions into it, bro, everything changes. And at least for me, I felt so, just so freeing, you know, being able to be like, yeah, this is who I am. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'm just being true to myself, and let's see what happens. And the more I've been true to myself, the more I've been able to push forward, the more I've been accepted, the more people has been like, bro, I didn't even know you thought like that. Hey, bro, I didn't even know that was a characteristic of yours. Hey, bro, you're actually really, really, really dope. They're like people like JJ. Hey, Jay, you're super duper dope, man. I didn't even know you thought like that. Like, bro, this is so rare. I'm so happy you showed me this. I'm so happy you, you know, articulated these things. That just vulnerability within itself is so powerful, you guys, because you never know who you're connecting with. You never know what aspect of you or what you may say that may impact somebody else. Yo, like I've said in other people, like in other videos, I've wrote ebooks and I've done things in like an artistic way where I was just really expressing myself and being true to myself, right? And I've had people reach out to me and just be like, hey, bro, this really changed my life. You feel me? Like, hey, I needed this. Like really, I don't think you really understand. Like, I'm here because of you. Like, bro, those type of things you never forget, and it puts a different fire into your artistry, realizing that, bro, we all go through the same things. The things that dude was going through, the things that girl was going through, that I was going through it. I was going through it and figuring out the answers, and they just needed a sense of connect. They just needed somebody to connect with, somebody to relate to. Being an artist, that is your strong point, right? And that's something I've learned. But embracing my camera has been a life changer. You know, the people that I've gotten a chance to interact with, the people that I've gotten a chance to, you know, talk to, shake hands with, take pictures of, it's crazy. And, you know, my lineage does play a factor, but then my creativity is what allows me to propel and stay forward and stay in it. You know, nobody like leeches. Everybody wants to add something to the table. And luckily I found something that I could bring to the table. I found my value factor, and it was my camera, you know? And yeah, it's just been a very interesting journey. You know, we always have growth to do. We always have more learning. I'm not nowhere near where I would want to be, quote unquote, but I realize that I'm exactly where I need to be. And just embracing, you know, every day, you know, this right here is an opportunity. Every single day we wake up, at every single second, every single moment, we have an opportunity to get further to the things that we want and the things that we love. But, you know, it's not until I at least got to a point where I was loving myself to at least be conscious enough to know that I'm making decisions that wasn't an exhibit of my higher self. Everything changed. Slowly started changing. You start seeing the habits, and you start seeing the energy, you start seeing the ripple effects of making certain changes in your life almost immediately. It's like a snowball effect. But yeah, man, that's enough for today, man. It's been Sid Mix VFX. If you guys do want to go check out the photography or even book me to help you guys and stuff like that, go check out the Instagram, you know, or go down to the comments, you know. Y'all know how to reach out to me, you feel me? But anyways, I love you guys. Be safe, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace.